wine is flowing, so you know where we're going. We're going on a backlot tour, and I'm your tour guide, Captain Zach, and as with me always is the Beans.
Or Jana.
No. Zetus Lapidus, man.
No, that's my line.
I don't know. That's why I specifically asked you, what are they saying? I was like, I gotta say that. Because then all the people will be like, oh, he says the line. And then
It's what I said in the first Zenon episode that we recorded.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh, nerd.
And Zetus Lapidus, guys. We watched Zenon the Zequel.
And holy zit. It was not delicious. Get ready for lots of Z jokes.
That's your opinion.
I think I'm gonna talk like that from now on. I'm just like, this is what future talk is, right? And they're like,
future talk 29 years from now.
I don't remember what like a lot of the things they said were.
I mean, you add like major after a lot of words.
Oh my gosh, major something.
No, not major something major.
It was busted major.
Yeah, there you go.
Because the whole podcast is just us figuring out cool ways to say stuff.
Or Margie's new word, fabulo, that Zenon got really offended about.
Fabulo.
Nebula saying.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to jump right into this because I have thoughts on this movie, this DCOM movie. First off, the effects are on point. They're on point major.
There you go.
They were... No, I'm being facetious. It's 2003?
It was 2001.
2001. 2001 effects for a made-for-TV movie. So you can only imagine. It felt very like early Doctor Who, but worse, if that makes sense. And
Doctor Who probably had more funding.
Yeah. Well.
And it was 4 years later.
Actually, yeah, for Disney at that point, probably. They were just throwing crap out. And they're just like, that was the straight-to-DVD era, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, but this was like made for Disney Channel. It was a Disney Channel.
So it was even
movie.
worse. So it was like, it wasn't Cinderella 2, The Search for More Money. It was Zenon 2, The Zequel. We're not really looking for more money. We're going to cut the budget by getting rid of some of these people. We replaced her parents. We replaced Raven Simone. I thought they replaced the sister a few times in the middle of the movie, but I think I was wrong.
I think it was just the angle of the light.
Her hair might have just been crazo.
Yeah.
But like there were parts I was like, is that the same actress? Are they switching her midstream? You don't change horses midstream. It was weird.
But most importantly, Protozoa was back.
I think Protozoa is the only saving grace for me in the entire series so far.
Protozoa is the best.
And we couldn't figure out. I was like, this guy looks like someone, and I was like, I think he's an amalgam of every band member of No Doubt. And then you're like, oh no, he's like the guitarist. And I was like, yeah, he kind of does look like a guitarist, or just
the
anyone.
One that Gwen Stefani dated.
Anyone from the early 2000s with frosted tips. He's just over the top, and he wears some crazy outfits. And I think he is.
And he has huge ego.
He's acting up a storm. And I think he's by far my favorite character.
I love Protozoa. We should get Protozoa shirts.
Yeah, obviously.
Come into the backlot store soon.
We're gonna make our own because everyone's like, "What's Protozoa?" And they're like, he's like the first artist to play in space. And then they're like,
"Duh."
It's like, I don't know what that means. And we're like, "You obviously aren't a DCOM fan." They're like, "Yeah, you're right. I am not." Thank God.
You have to have a better singer than that. It needs to be like
obviously you're not a
something
golfer.
Major.
Stupid major, and they're like,
yeah.
"What?" And you're like, Zetus Lapidus, don't you know anything? And you're just like, oh my God, I can't talk to you. You're talking like you're from space. And we're like, exactly.
It's Moon Man talk.
That's Moon Man talk. That is Moon Man talk. The tequila's talking. Like the plot of this movie escaped me for a while. I didn't really know what the point was. It starts off with like her just being able to do whatever she wants and then almost murdering the captain. Like straight up.
Commander.
Whatever his role was, she's just like, I'm going to play Pong on this thing. It's pretty cool. Meanwhile, she's opening and closing the airlock in his office.
Also, why is that a control that someone else can use?
It's like, hey, we should set this up later to murder you.
Why does he have an airlock door in there like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a dangerous thing. Unless you're part of like the Nostromo and you need to get rid of an alien, I don't think you need that.
Yeah.
But like she's just opening and closing his door. All his possessions go outside. And he's just like, wait, what? And he goes out there and then almost gets sucked out into space. And she's just like playing a game, like laughing. And she's like, I'm gonna murder you. And like she gets like a slap on the wrist and has to go down to like the alien bunker with this weirdo who's just like,
Orion.
Orion, who's like never seen a human. And
Which, can I just say,
not a heartthrob.
he is not a heartthrob. And they weren't like flirty with each other. There was like no chemistry, no sexual tension. And then at the
Spoiler
very
alert,
end,
at the end he's just like, hey, and she's like, hey.
yeah, at the very
Like,
end,
what?
they like make it like, oh, hello there, Orion.
Hey, this relationship was there the whole time. It's kind of like in that like Rick and Morty with the inside the guy, like the amusement park. They're like, was Gonorrhea our friend the whole time? You're like, I guess so. That's just like a really good dude, I guess. You know, that's what it felt like. I was just like, was this relationship happening the whole time?
You know, relationship was happening the
It
whole
was
time.
so subtle that no one knew.
Margie and Zenon building their friendship.
Yeah, thank goodness for that, because Margie seemed like a real bitch, and then she turned it around and became the hero.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, that's not true. But there was it goes from them almost murdering the commander to them just being like, oh, the government's taking over, like the military is like taking over our base, and you're like, what? And then Margie just comes in, like, oh, my dad happens to be the one that's in charge of this base now, and I'm gonna be your like shadow, I guess. I don't know what she's doing.
Zenon was responsible for Margie.
And Margie's just like, you gotta do all my homework and paint my toenails. I'm like, that is bonkers. That's bananas, Foster. That like that's what she made her do.
Margie might be a sociopath.
Well, yeah, she was like, do people actually listen to me? And you're like, yeah, you're being like a dick to everyone. She's like, oh, I didn't know. And you're like, oh, okay. Like she was just a nut. And then she was like, and then Zenon gets her back by gluing her toes to her socks. And I'm just like, I don't know where this movie's going, but I'm on board because I have to be because I'm in space and no one can hear me scream. Zetus Lapidus. So we go to that to like them being like the government's taking over. Xenon's in trouble, so she's relegated
but, they're
to
also
a role.
like painting them in to be bad guys, but really it's just like they're trying to save them.
Yeah, like they were like the military's the bad guy, but they were like the space station's out of orbit, so it's like slowly deteriorating.
Like at a super fast rate.
Okay, so it's not slowly deteriorating; it's fastly deteriorating.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so they're just like jettisoning sections of this whole thing out to like be like, hey, we're gonna eventually just get all you off here, but they don't want to tell anyone that. But they should have just been like, hey, we're sorry, but like this space station is fucked. We need to get you off, or you're gonna fucking die. But they made like the military out to be like this horrible like entity. But I'm like, hey, they're trying to like
Also,
not freak you out and cause a panic, I guess.
can we talk about their uniforms?
Is there such a thing as too sexy?
The direction that the military uniforms are supposedly going in the next 29 years?
I'm gonna say it's like that's definitely a delta. It's not a what is it, alpha and delta?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know, like a thumbs up, thumbs down. It's definitely a thumbs down for me. They don't look that slick. I think in
don't.
the future I would hope that our
I love the metallic gold trim, but and those weird sunglasses that they were all wearing.
Yeah.
And
well, like everyone in this world has like some crazo fashion sense, and it does not disappoint. Like Protozoa being the shining beacon of fashion in this. He had some like shiny vinyl pleather pants or something, and then like a shiny
sequin shirt,
purple like metallic thing.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
What did you think of Protozoa's song at the end of the movie?
Not as good as the other one.
It's still boppy though.
I already forgot it.
It's still a bop.
I don't remember it, whereas the other one I do remember.
Yeah, the
although
other
right
one
now
was
I
catchy.
don't remember.
Zoom,
so
zoom,
there it is.
zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. That was like the whole premise of this movie. So she goes to the alien thing or the alien room to like hear like, you know, noises from space with this weirdo. And she hears like this noise. It's like zoom, zoom. And for some reason, nothing's recording this. So no one believes her. And I'm like,
Yeah,
wait,
that's
this is the year.
like if they're actually like looking for aliens, they'd
should
be
be able to listen
recording
and play it back.
everything the whole time.
Yeah, they're like, well, we don't say anything now. And she's like, well, it's not happening now.
Also, isn't it kind of like, from what I've gathered from The Big Bang Theory, that they're just like recording it all anyways, and then it's kind of like you just like go through the data later. Like people aren't just actively there 24/7.
Are you talking about like our alien division? They have
Yeah.
a name. I can't remember what it is, but like, I don't know. They probably just live underground and don't see humans, just like that guy, Orion. I would assume you'd have to be a special kind of person to be in that division of NASA or the government.
But like, I mean, but wouldn't the simpler option just be to like record everything the whole time and then just kind of scan that recording
to see if there's any like wavelengths that just like change. I mean, I'm assuming that's what they do. Well, there's probably an algorithm that goes through and just like looks for anomalies in sound. Problem is, I think there's like so many like satellites and other things bouncing around in space that we're probably getting our own half the time. And because we're sending out music and other signals constantly. And I think the aliens are like, we don't like your music. Please stop it. Bring us protozoa. That's what we're missing. I think we just got to send out zoom, zoom, zoom.
Supernova Girl.
If we send out Supernova Girl, it sounds like that might be the saving grace. She says like, oh, I got this thing. They want to talk to protozoa because they like our music. That's what she is assuming. So they're like, we got to find protozoa. How do you find him? And she's like, well, you listen to their songs. And I'm like, this is nonsense. And like, she's like, oh, but listen, let's find out his like most popular songs. Which ones? And they're like, this one and this one. And then she goes, what about this one? And then she's like, yeah. And then types it in and then like, boom, finds a house. And you're like, what?
Although,
don't rationalize this. It's dumb.
I was just going to say that like.
It was mind-numbingly stupid. And this house is in the middle of nowhere. Like you have to hike up like what it seemed like roughly 7 days of hiking. I don't know how long they were there for.
It was probably just an hour.
Oh, okay. An hour of hiking through the jungle where giant tarantulas live. And he's just in like some tiki hut. I'm like, how did he get here?
I don't think that was a tarantula.
It was a big spot. It was Shaloub, okay? Let's not beat around the bush. It was ginormous. It was the size of your fist. They were scared. I was scared for them. It was uncomfortable. I didn't like it.
It should have ended up on Margie.
But they find the place finally, and they get caught in a tickle field. They get stuck in a tickle field. That was very weird. Like they walk forward, and she's like, and starts laughing, and her legs are like caught, and she's like, and then her friend walks forward and gets caught, and they're like,
okay, they were not friends at this point.
Whatever her name is, Margie gets caught too, and they're just like,
I don't think we need to recount the whole movie.
Well, I'm just going through it so it makes sense because no one's seen this fucking movie.
Yes, they have.
I want to paint the most vivid picture you can imagine.
You don't need to paint a vivid
There's a tickle field. There's a tickle field involved. And he gets them in. They talk about it. They're like, yeah, let's go to space.
Seriously, why are we going through this step by step?
I don't know. What else do you want to talk about?
They were a little ahead of their time on some stuff for 2001, filming in 2001. Like they had the security doorbell.
That might have been a thing for rich people, though.
And flat screens.
I mean, we did just today get our Ring door or Nest doorbell up and running. Yeah. So they're ahead of us, I guess. They were talking about flat screens.
What did you think of the aliens?
It was a direct copy of The Abyss.
I've never seen that. When did The Abyss come out?
Probably the 90s.
Yeah, okay. So Zenon was copying The Abyss. The Abyss was not copying Zenon.
Wait a minute. You might be right. Hang on. Now I'm upset. Hold on here. 89. Okay, yeah. So Zenon definitely copied The Abyss.
Oh, but did the Galactic Star Cruiser copy Zenon?
Yeah, we noticed that like the beds in Zenon's room were a lot like the beds on the Star Cruiser.
Or at least the lounge area, like the couch hole.
No, those were beds.
That was her bed?
I think that was her bed. And it's like exactly like the same
like
kind
the
of style.
bunk beds.
Yeah, the bunk beds in the Galactic Star Cruiser looked a lot like Xenon's bed. So we're pretty sure that there were some Zenon fans that designed the rooms, which I don't know if that's a good thing.
We enjoyed it.
What, Zenon 2?
The rooms.
No, the rooms were great. I'm talking about Zenon. If you're like taking inspiration from Zenon 2, I mean, they already took the spaceship in that from 2001. They copied that. They copied the alien from The Abyss. And I didn't think anyone was going to notice. We noticed. What else did you want to discuss on this?
There are other things, but I'm having issues remembering.
Yeah, you know why? Because it's not a good movie. It immediately left me.
You know, I remember watching this when it first came out. Like, I remember watching it at my dad's house. And, like, first off, when Zenon and Gregory broke up in the beginning, I was very disappointed because I really wanted Greg to be in the movie. And the whole time I just kept thinking, like, Greg's going to show up and help save the day. And that did not happen. So I was very disappointed. But I remember, like, really liking this one and thinking it was as good or better than the first. But now that I've seen it again...
I'm not going to lie, that's a low bar.
I love the first one, though. I think the first one's
better just because I want a movie like this to be either, like, really, really bad or nothing. That's it. I just want it to be bad.
or nothing. What does
I don't
that
think it could
mean?
be good. I don't think this can be good.
Anyways,
I want it to be terribly bad.
Zenon, Girl of the 21st Century is one of my most favorite Disney Channel original movies. Now that I've watched this one, I don't know. It's just,
It feels flat.
it does. I don't think it's one that
There's
I
nothing to it.
really need to watch again anytime soon.
I don't really like. I still don't really understand the point. Really, it's like Xenon saved the day again. I'm like, yeah, but she almost murdered a guy right away. It starts with her almost murdering him and laughing about it. That's the other thing. She was laughing the whole time. I was like, this is messed
Well,
up.
she also doesn't know what she's doing.
She knew. I'm playing Pong. She's a sociopath too. They're all sociopaths. You know, maybe like this is like a Jacob's Ladder scenario, like where this is like a blink of the eye right before she's about to die, and this is like her crazy life flashing before her eyes, and then the rest of it's like a fever dream. This.
I don't like what you're saying right now.
I mean, who knows?
And I don't think that's what this is.
What if the third one? That's what happens because you've never seen the third one.
I haven't seen the third one. Are we gonna watch the third one?
For such a purist about like loving this series, you still haven't seen the third one, and it sounds like we're gonna have to watch it.
I called myself a purist.
You're like, I love this. This is my favorite decom movie, and you're like, fuck the third one though.
Zenon, the girl of the 21st century.
Yeah, but you're like, fuck the third one. I don't know what to tell you about that.
All I know is I did not like them changing out the mom like at all.
They changed out the mom. They changed out the dad. They changed out Raven Simone.
The other two were at least better actors than the mom.
This mom was terrible.
The mom was just awful.
I'm sorry if you're listening, but it was not my favorite performance.
No.
I mean, can we all like agree that Protozoa was the best, and then coming in a close second was Stuart Pankin?
Or was it Aunt Judy?
Judy always crushes, but I don't think that was Judy the whole time. I swear they switched her out like 2 or 3
It
scenes.
was Judy the whole time.
It's almost like they forgot to like film her. Like they put the stand-in in, and they forgot that they were filming her with the stand-in. And they're like, "Oh wait, this is like actually on camera. Yeah, no one's gonna notice. Let's just keep rolling."
Zach.
Oh no, are they coming to Dragon Con?
No. Zenon C3, Protozoa's in it, but they've replaced him.
No, I don't like this.
But Raven Simone's back.
That's even weirder. What? Oh, there's no rhyme or reason to this. I don't like this. I don't know if I can watch the third one. If Protozoa's not it, I don't think I want to watch it.
I think if we watch the third one, it's going to be a while. And her parents aren't even in this one.
Good.
But
She's outgrown them.
Commander Edward Plank is still in it, and so is Aunt Judy.
You know, Stuart Pankin ain't going anywhere. This is payday for him. Well, I think we can wrap this up.
Yeah,
I think we
I
kind
think
of
so.
put a button on it.
So did this hold up?
I never saw it. For me, no, absolutely not. I've never seen it, and I'm never going to see it again, hopefully, because I don't like this movie. The first one at least had more charm and substance, like a villain. There was no villain in this. It was just like, there was nothing there. It was like barely a story. It was being like held together with what, a lick and a prayer? What did she say?
A lick and a promise.
A lick and a promise.
Well,
As they say.
there's a great big pretty okay tomorrow.
Shining at the end of every day.